Yo, 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 it's your boy Hound Dog Buck 50, here to talk about my experience doing DoorDash. Now, just to let you know, this is not a channel dedicated to talking about DoorDash, but by all means, if you like what I'm talking about or like some other things on my channel, just inspirational, things of that nature, feel free to like and subscribe. But I just wanted to talk about my experience with DoorDash since I see a lot of people probably just like myself when they was doing DoorDash, they wanted to hear other people and find out where they were coming from. I do my own business. I DJ, but things are slowing down, so I decided let me try the DoorDash thing. Try to make it do what it do until business kicks back up. And a lot of the theme that I get from DoorDash people is that, hey, you got a lot of people that's just sick and tired of that world, man. Like myself, got tired of being managed, micromanaged. Somebody's telling them when and where to go, when you can take a vacation. I get it. I get all of that. And I'm not knocking nobody that's doing it that says they're doing it, if you know what I mean. But this is my experience. I only been doing it for 2 weeks, but I feel like in that 2 weeks I got a little feel of what it's like. Okay. Now, the thing about DoorDash is, man, it's tough because you don't really get big money orders. A lot of them is like $6, $7 if you're lucky. Sometimes a 7-Eleven, $4 or whatever. But what I came to the conclusion is if they're close in the area, it's not that bad because you can sort of work your local area. But sometimes they'll hit you with something that's 2 miles away for like $8. Not 2 miles, 2 cities away. It might be like 25 minutes to get there. It makes no sense. I mean, sometimes you can get lucky, and if you go to that area, maybe you can pick up some dashing in that area. But a lot of times, I did it a couple of times, and it didn't work out that way. So essentially, I went to that city, came back to my regular post. Make it make sense. And this is the thing about business. That's the key word. You got to make it make sense. I'm just using an example. If you buy 100 CDs, DVDs, and they all got movies on them, and you selling them, out of the 100, you bought them like, say, $5 a piece, right? So out of 100, you sold 50 for $10. That's a profit right there. But the other 50, you either sold for the same price or lower. So now, when it's all said and done, you add up all this money, and it looks good when you put it on paper. You like, $50 a piece on 5. So no. So let's say, yeah, $10 profit, $5 profit on whatever amount. But never mind that. You know what I mean. So when you add it up, it's like $400 or $500. You're like, whoa, I made $500 in one day. But hold on. Because what you got to remember is there was 50 that you either sold for the same price or less. So you got to factor that in. Those don't count. It's just like when you got $5,000 in your bank account, but you wrote a check for your rent that was $2,800. It ain't came out yet, but you wrote it. You wrote another check. People don't really do checks no more. We do over the phone, but you know what I mean. You made let's say a phone call to make your car payment for $480, but it ain't registered yet. So that's not really $5,000 in your bank account. You follow me? Because what's due to come out. So you got to count it like what it really is. So not to mention you're on the road a lot with your car. Example, I got an Elantra. Elantra is not a gas guzzler. If you know, you know. I had to put gas in my car like twice, and I didn't really make no money. Only 2 weeks. 1 week, $106. Next week, $166. But man, what I had to put in just to get that. Like I said, whoever say they killing it, I'm not going to say they not killing it. So keep that in mind. I'm not down talking nobody, but I'm just telling you from what I see. Now, if I do it a little bit longer and I experience something else on the other side, I'm gonna come back and say, yo, this is about something I learned about DoorDash. I didn't get that, but I'm giving you what I feel on it right now. It's tough. It's like if you in between something, like you just lost your job and you need to stay afloat, I say just do it. Just keep a little money in your pocket. But I can't see myself, as much as I don't like, being, under somebody, managed and all that. Yo, if you live somewhere, I'm just saying, wherever you live, you better off if there's a Whole Foods, like say right across the street from you, and they paying, I'm just making up an amount. Let's say they paying $16 an hour. You better off just going there, working your whatever hours, as long as ain't nobody fucking with you, or just get up out of there. That's it. Do what you got to do and just be gone. Because it's like, at least when you go there, first of all, it's close. So you probably forget driving, you could probably walk there. You park your car sits down for those 7-8 hours or whatever. You do what you got to do and you done. At the end of 2 weeks, because most jobs pay for 2 weeks, your check ain't going to make you rich. But you can say, you know what? Okay, this is $1,200 I got for 2 weeks, and you're done. With this, it's frustrating because you really got, and even though it's going to show you on DoorDash, how it may show you, it's going to show you, like, say, for instance, you had it on for 5 hours, but you actively worked for whatever. It don't feel that way because it's like you got to darn near be on call and have that thing on constantly. And it's tough like that because, like I said, when you got your mind made up, like say, you know what, I'm going to dedicate myself from 6 p.m. to 11. Now you got your dome straight that I'm going to work for 5 hours, whatever. I'm just making these numbers up. You're motivated. But guess what? Sometimes you may not get no good offers, or you may not get no offers at all. And that's tough because this is the time where your mind is motivated to dedicate yourself to DoorDash from 6 to 12 or whatever. And after that, maybe you want to go to the gym or whatever. But now, because nothing happened for you to make any money, you can't really turn your mind off of the dash. It's just like you go to work. Okay, granted, and follow me. This is coming from a person who don't like that world. But follow me. When you go to work, as much as you hate your job, at least in most jobs, when you're done, you can say, okay, I'm done for these 8 hours. I just took out the trash. I work for the city or whatever. I don't like it, but I'm done. You can go to a bar, have a drink, turn it off until 6 o'clock the next morning. You go back and then you become the guy that works for the city again. With Dash, a lot of times I feel like those numbers that people are telling you are misleading. It sounds good to say you made 180 or 200 or whatever, but what you got to do to make it, you got to factor that in. Especially when a person like me with a smaller car, and I'm like, I'm so used to the luxury of my car not burning gas. And I'm like, I'm burning all this gas and I didn't really make no big money from this. You know what I mean? And I get it. I ain't been doing it that long, but it's still, from what I see of it, it just feels, it seems so exhausting. And like me, for instance, now, if I'm working somewhere, this is just me personally. If I'm working at, I don't know, the police department or Home Depot full-time or wherever, I couldn't see myself quitting it to do this. I can't picture myself. Now, like I said before, if you already working and maybe you want to do something on the side, or they let you go, they laid you off, fired you, whatever. Okay, this is a little buffer. Say keep a little something going until next thing jump off. Or you just want to stay busy. You don't want to lay up in the bed all day. But I just don't see, for me personally, and I don't mind hustling either. Because if I could go turn it on and get like a bunch of orders that's like within reason, that's within the area, I take all of them. but it don't work that way. Sometimes you get one for $7, and it's a way that you're not going to see the actual address, but if you read the map, it'll tell you where it's going to. It'll say, like, for instance, from here to there, and if you look at it, you say, oh, it's in that town. And if it's like a couple towns over, if you accept it without really looking, next thing you know, you like, what did I just do? I took a $7 order that's like 2 cities away. There's a lot, that can go into what I'm talking about. And I'm not here to downplay anybody that's doing it on DoorDash. Keep that in mind too. This is just my experience. But I felt like, I'm going to tell you how Dash affected me. It got to a point this week where I was like, yo, I feel more motivated to do a video about DoorDash and actually go out on the road and do DoorDash. This is to me, the silver lining in all of it is when you do something like DoorDash, it makes you realize, like, okay, it has to be a better way and an easier way to not only make money, but make more money than this. It's got to be. That's when you realize, okay, I got to use my brain a little bit more, because I just don't see this. I don't see it in it. I don't see it in it, because your car is an expense in itself. So think about it. If your car, let's just say your car is paid for, you had your car 7 years, relatively not many things gone wrong with it. You save, not only do you have a car that's paid for, but you saved yourself a great deed of expenses. But now, when you do something like this, your car is going to be put to the test. And now what wasn't an expense is going to eventually become an expense, because now you got to invest in tires. You got to invest in a battery, because that's how it is. The more the car is on the road, the more you pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And me personally, I don't see DoorDash as something that I would leave my job for. I just don't see it, man. I'm just telling the truth. But, this is my song about DoorDash with no hook. Like it, check it out, take it for what it is.